Okay, we're gonna call a meeting. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very much. All right. Anybody have any added agenda items? Nope. Hearing none, we'll move on. Acceptance of the minutes. Oh, did we get motion? Oh, you got them already. See, you're way ahead of me. I should know.
Motion to accept the minutes of May 31st, 2023 as submitted.
Second. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Election of officers. Isn't that fun?
I open the floor to nominations. Nominations are now in order for the position of chairman. Are there nominations for chairman?
I nominate Paul Anderson.
Second. Any further nominations? Nominations are now closed. Nominations are now in order for the position of vice chairman. Are there nominations for vice chairman? Yes, Jim Richards.
I'll second that.
Any further nomination? Nominations are now closed. Vice chairman. All those in favor of the nominated slate of officers signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? None. Aye. Chairman is.
Yeah.
All.
Yeah, same as before.
The vice chairman is Jim.
There you go. Thank you. Okay.
You didn't want any of those, right?
So, communications, I do have a couple. We didn't have a meeting left. I'd like to pare this down a little. So for what it's worth, town of Suffield. This was a notice they were going to set their sewer service system rates, and Kent Farms is gonna be 440. Okay, and I believe that happened. Legal notice, request for proposals, Town of Vernon, Water Pollution Control Authority. Let's see, seeking transportation and disposal services for the wastewater treatment facility. And it goes on, but that's, that's the way it is. Okay, so they're out for bids. Everybody is somewhere, one time or another. Town of Summers, Water Pollution Control Authority. Summersville Water Pollution Control Authority rate is $4.90. The Maple Ridge Community System is $1.80 because they pay additional fees to keep that system functioning. So that's the news. Thought I'd pass it along.
The rates for somewhere like Summersville, I'm just quickly saying something. That occurs sometimes though, because they don't have enough users online to keep the rate lower.
It could be.
So you absolutely have to continue to grow the line and you feeding into it. Keep the bills stabilized. I just wanted to,
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It
but-
does.
and we're doing that in our town. I mean,
We are doing
so I just wanted to make a
That is correct.
reason why they might have to go to that. Because costs money to operate. So true.
Anyone else have any communication? Okay, we have no scheduled visitors. Is there anyone online for public participation? It looks like no. Receipt of applications? We have no new applications. Thank you. Approval of applications? I know we don't have any of those. We're gonna skip the sewer ordinance revision. So now we can go into the public hearing.
Motion to suspend the regular meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to open the public hearing for Newberry Village LLC, 2 Morning Dove Trail and Toronto,
No.
54 Scantic Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is now open. I'll read the notice. The Water Pollution Control Authority of the Town of East Windsor will hold a regular meeting starting at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, July 26, 2023, at the EWWPCA Administration Building, 192 South Water Street, East Windsor, Connecticut. The on-site meeting is restricted to commissioners and staff. The public can participate via the remote video conferencing platform. Details to join the meeting are available on the agenda, which is posted on the town website. During this meeting, the following public hearing on the calculation and imposition of facility connection charges. The following properties will be heard: Newbury Village LLC, 2 Morning Dove Trail, 1 EDU, $6,500. Parento, 54 Scantic Road, 1 EDU, $6,500. Copy of said proposed calculations are on file, open to public inspection at the office of the Water Pollution Control Authority, 192 South Water Street, East Windsor, Connecticut, dated this 14th day of July, 2023. Paul Anderson, Chairman. Okay. Give us a quick,
Sure.
Newbury Village to Morning Dove Trail, that is actually housing. That is one facility connection charge, of which 1/2 has been paid.
cool.
And then Parento 54 Scannick Road is 1 residential unit, of which $6,500 has been paid, which is paid in full.
Okay. Is there anyone here representing Village LLC? And I see none. Or Parento, 54 Scannick Road, and I see none. Do we have any questions or?
When they pay half the pay like that, when is the other half? I guess, because I can't remember.
They have 7 years, so it'll be the following September, I believe that. And so it's in 7 equal installments over the next 7 years.
Okay.
Unless it's sold and has to be.
As far as, okay, I understand.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
so if it's a builder that does it, for example, and he sells the house, it gets paid full.
Motion to close the public hearing for Newbury Village LLC, 2 Morning Dove Trail, Toronto, 54 Scannick Road.
second. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Action on the FCC.
Oh. Motion,
Oh, that's all.
motion to resume regular meeting.
Thank you.
That's why I was a little
Second.
confused by that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks.
Action on it. Motion to impose the facility connection charges for Newbury Village LLC, 2 Morning Dove Trail and Parento, 54 Scannick Road as published.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's done. IT status.
I'm gonna just hand it over to Ed. Don't mind, Ed? Sure.
Okay, we haven't really managed any movement forward since last time we met, which would have been June. As far as, our server or that, but we've done a tremendous project out at Route 140. I'm gonna let Art talk about that. We're in the process of getting all the firmware on our cellular modems. That's going slow but well. I was on the phone for quite a while with Verizon today. During COVID, they didn't do a whole lot of maintenance on their service or their network. So over the last 5 weeks, they've been shutting things down in the evenings, normally between 10 and 2 at night, which drops us out of one of our stations. We've been combating that. We end up getting a failure of communication alarm, which doesn't mean the station isn't running well, it just means we can't see it.
Yeah.
Through the PLC.
So does that all reconnect automatically when they come back?
Sometimes.
Oh, good.
If that's Verizon's goal and it's our goal, but
Yeah,
every 10th time it doesn't, and an operator has to actually just reset the modem.
Yeah.
But we never know. They told me today it's gonna go on for a little bit longer. They're still playing catch up. We did some changes. We extended the interval for the alarm to come in, so There's some stations like Mill Pond Village, we don't have a lot of room to play with. Once we lose communication, it's such a small wet well and such a busy facility that we don't wanna take, 30 minutes before we realize something. So some of the stations are really restrictive on what we can do for the timing. Others have a big enough capacity. We extended our outage before the operators will get alarmed.
Oh,
So, just one of those things. The other thing we spent a lot of time on is with some of our older operators, some of our newer, is getting them really ramped up on running things manually. That's one of the big keys and one of the big pushes between the DEP and EPA, making sure we can run these facilities in the manual mode in case something's to happen. I would say we feel very confident. We've done it before. It's just a matter of getting a couple of the younger guys exposed to it where they get comfortable. The first time is gonna be a little sketchy, but I'll walk them through it. A lot of communication, having them hands-on, so that we can go through these things over the phone. So that we have to come in here, especially the last couple of weeks when we had the high waters. We've seen it higher, but I think I've never seen so many people come down here to take pictures and to view the river. It was pretty concerning. So things like that, and if we can get away with one person coming in or two people coming in and us working over the telephone with them, and they're confident, we're confident, we're gonna be in very good shape.
good. Excellent.
The manual operation you're talking about is computers fail.
Correct. Because a lot of the newer operators did not learn the way we learned, like the fellas, manual, handoff, all of that kind of thing. Everything now is done through SCADA, and it's a whole different.
Well, it's just they built huge mousetraps and now we're all paying the price.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
It's like clocks and stuff.
One of the things that you as a board, I know that Art and I really appreciate, so redundant backups.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
PLC works fine, a computer will work the system, run the system, but if it fails for any reason, just old failure,
Doesn't matter.
a security issue, we do have float backups. It'll resort back to float backups, but it gets time consuming and expensive to make sure the float backups are running and they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We probably would be very hesitant to not have float backups in all our
We
chambers.
was not so comfortable whatsoever.
Right, and that's called old school mixing with the new, and that's
Yeah.
what it should be. So I'm
If
glad
something's
to hear.
going to go wrong, it's gonna, hopefully it needs to go wrong 3 ways for us to get affected.
Well,
not just one way.
and the guys who teaching the manual stuff will benefit in the long run
Oh, yes.
with their careers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
And so I will add to that, Ed's done a really, really great job about, because we've got 3 relatively new people, 2 have been here just about 3 years now, 1 has been here just about a year now. And so Ed has spent a lot of time putting together the training and actually the documentation. And these guys are sucking it up like a sponge. They really enjoy it. They want to know that because they know at some point in time they're going to be replacing those of us who are the older guys. So it's and we've done it over a little period. It started off slow with a small pump station, then a larger pump station. So this is ongoing. I don't think a week goes by that we don't have some type of a breakout session or a training session, and we cover something that happened. We say, hey, next time at lunch, let's just get everybody together and kind of, and then it'll take 15-20 minutes in the records room. So we don't wait like 6 months. I mean, it's like immediate.
no, and that's what you want.
Well,
Everything
yeah.
sounds like it's chugging along, so.
It is, no, it really
I'm
is.
very
Yes, I'm
satisfied.
really happy. Oh, that's
I saw the trucks on 140, so I knew there was something the hell going on.
Yep,
yeah. I think we were running out of parking spaces there.
absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll cover that in my part of it. That was
Back in pretty good.
major undertaking.
Yep, definitely. Okay, then it's gonna zip us right through to page 2. To new business. Now, one of the items in new business is the, complaint letter we got. I gotta bring that up then, I think, is the appropriate place, and you guys had copies of it, and, you had copies of what Art put together, and then I've got your response, and I think you're correct. We'll probably do this, that, something very, very simple. So I'm gonna move forward with that. Send her a letter, pretty much what you said. Keep it down to practically nothing, because not much to say.
No,
This is the way we do business and the way we've always done business, and nothing perfect.
well, and now that we're in the meeting, and obviously we were talking on, by email, so, you know, I've had time to think about it. One, we do have empathy for this person. I mean, this is
Certainly.
not something
No, without a doubt.
we approach and say, well, tough luck. It's not at all.
No, it's not it.
The other thing is, I'm very curious, there's, and I've read this over and over. It sounds like she's been in talk with the town. And she's on lists already. Now, didn't the town have some kind of sewer assistance program?
Yes, exactly.
And, okay,
I'm 99.9% sure I spoke to this woman on the phone.
Yes.
And I brought up the program to her, she didn't wanna hear about
And I also believe this is not the first time she brought it.
No, she did last year too.
Exactly.
I'm well aware of that.
okay, so the question I would have, being proactive. And because it's not something where we're and I don't know if I'm stepping on toes, so stop me when you say, Jim, no, we can't do that, I'll understand. But isn't there a way that we can somehow have social services reach out to this woman? I mean, she wrote a public letter, we know who she is, we know her address. And I'm thinking social services, if she's on this list, she's probably already there with them. And if they approach her with the program, she might listen, because it's a shame, because that's exactly who the program's for.
Yeah, and we don't need to know the qualifications.
No,
No,
No, that-
but her, she did not provide her. So,
Because that program, I think, if I'm correct, Laura, the people have to be on like the heating
it.
assistance.
It's already,
well, yeah, but
Meet
that's
the income requirement.
not the point. That isn't the point. That's not our job.
No, it's not. our
We don't
job.
decide if somebody's qualified. That's
No,
not
we
our
do not.
business.
we don't have the address of this.
She did not provide it to us.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not part of her letter.
I'm sure.
Well,
But do we have an address? Of course, we know whose account it is. So we can look up the address. That's not the problem, but I'm saying she didn't provide it.
oh, okay,
Okay, that's
all
all.
right, I was just curious, like, are we sure she's on our system? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
okay, well, then I can't think of anything else. That's the only suggestion I would have, and if that's not in our, what we should be doing, then we shouldn't do it, but obviously, if I was the postman and I knocked on the door and I saw a bunch of newspapers, I would report it to the police and let them follow up.
Gone for 5 months a year, so that's another factor. This is
Well-
one of her problems, and I'm looking at it saying, yeah, whatever. It's
Well,
a choice.
But the town has a program, we tried to offer it, I'm just asking.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I'm just saying, if we wanted to make an extra step by contacting, not her, social services. If we wanted to
Well,
drop
I'm
them
still
an
gonna
email.
respond to her.
Oh,
But in
absolutely.
a very simple manner. And then, yes, we can provide a copy of her letter to social services.
Right,
With the address information, so they'll know who it is. And what they think they ought to do with that, whatever.
I mean, it could be as simple as an email to them saying, here, we can't help her, would she fit one of your programs? And that's what they want, they're looking for that, so. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to,
Oh,
No,
that's
no,
fine.
but
No, thank you.
that's the
That's good.
appropriate thing to do. Why not?
when I'm 87, I want someone to try to look out for me too, so.
That's
Oh,
not
We
gonna
do our
work.
best.
I'll put you on there.
Not gonna happen.
You're not gonna know who I was anyways.
Okay, so. New business. Let me see. Yeah, I'll throw a couple other quick things in there. For what it's worth, not a direct impact on us, but the Connecticut Water Company's project in Broadford has been extended into October. So
Is
it
that
will
the one
not
on
be
the
done.
corner, in front of the Opera House?
No, it's not that. They're doing, replacing all the water mains that broke. Okay, they're putting in 12-inch mains, the pipes are 8. So they're a project and they're doing all over. They're doing these projects, but this one is this year, but it's gonna take them at least a month longer than they predicted. And they find that out by getting into the job. So that's where that stands.
Well, I'm glad to see them investing in our community.
Oh, yes, it's a real positive. Let's see, I'll give you, let's see, I got a confirmation today that the community center is gonna move forward. Probably gonna be the end of August before they go out for bids, but that'll be a new sewer use that's gonna be bigger. Cause it's gonna be used when it finally gets done, it's gonna be used as offices and things, and so that will have an impact here. They got done with all the technical paperwork that was tied in with the lawyers, and it looks like USDA is ready to commit the funds. So I got that information in the middle of the day today.
What is is there a timeline, Paul, for how long they expect for this project?
It hasn't even gone out for bid.
Right.
No idea. What? I mean, they want it done now, but it's
Well,
not,
that's.
not gonna be done now.
Here's how that's gonna work. It's gonna get done. When it can done, the federal money first has to be approved, okay? In the meantime, we need to move forward on the many steps that Paul's discussing. What we need to do is take an attitude that we know it might be coming. That we, as a sewer facility, if we need to do something that we might need to do prior to it coming. And have it ready, not give it to them prior, but when they
Right.
need it. I don't think that's a waste of time.
Well, I don't know if
I
they're
don't
gonna
think
need
we really-
anything.
They don't.
They don't need anything, but there is gonna be an issue with the position of the generator.
Generator.
That'll get worked out.
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
worried about that stuff. But I'm saying the usage is gonna go up, so they're gonna pay more money.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be of value.
They're not subject to a facility connection charge because it is a municipal building.
Yeah, but usage,
The usage most definitely
Yeah.
will increase,
okay,
which is good, as you were just saying, like the town of Summers, this, we need to grow our base.
yeah, the more, that's all, that's a positive. We don't wanna waste this facility,
No, I'm in agreement.
okay, and Jim. Had mentioned to me that Calamar got sold and the new people joined the Chamber of Commerce, so that hopefully will move forward, but I don't know the.
Well, it turns out, cause I hadn't received all their info, they are Calamar stuff.
Oh, they are?
Plus
Oh, it's-
55 Connect, so it's gonna be the same.
Oh, it's
looks like
the same one.
with a
Okay.
little different name,
Oh, fine.
and they think they're moving forward. They aren't doing any rentals or anything yet. They're
No, no,
joining the local
okay.
chamber,
That's good.
which is normal for many.
Okay, so it's still Cal.
Are the people in the background Calamar people, or are they just Calamar
To
names?
be honest with you and say the only person I have spoken to has been not Mary, whatever the manager's name is up there, they've got a frontline manager, a woman,
Oh, okay, I haven't.
right? And they had property in Manchester that something got finalized on.
Yeah.
And I could not attend, but they had a luncheon last Thursday that I was invited to attend. So I think that whatever's gonna go on, I did discuss with them at length about, you know, you wanna make sure you're ready before you open, in other words, not knowing what has or hasn't been done.
Yep.
But they do realize, I think that the town needs to be satisfied, so
That's
I'm hoping everybody works together and we get that going, because I think that would be a real plus.
So I guess my only question, Jim, because I don't think anybody knows all the players right now, but they've done this, well, they haven't really sold it, but they've brought in how many different contractors, how many different times, and is this any different? I mean, so when you say.
To me, unlike the rest of our community, I sit here and laugh because if you're in business, that's normal. People change. I mean, we have unusual relationships with our vendors here because we do.
Right.
But I can tell you that like apartment complexes, they change workers and stuff.
So this is not uncommon then?
To me, the
Right.
whole thing hasn't been uncommon.
Oh,
To
okay,
have a project get stalled because of money, because of financing.
right,
Then to have a project, something not be right where what was supposed to be done didn't get done. And then there was some money issues because the
sure.
bankers, I mean, we got banks out there right now that are taking credit card accounts and just closing. Saying, we're no longer in the credit card business, you people owe us money, but you don't have a credit card anymore. That kind of thing is going on out
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of things going on.
So,
So it sounds like it's good news.
yeah, well, and it could be done. I mean, I certainly don't want it sitting there empty. It's like the theaters, but I go by the theaters now. And you see the real estate sign.
I know,
So I think things
Okay.
are moving forward.
good, thank you, okay.
Okay, so the story changed a little bit from what I heard, but that's good.
Well,
It clarifies it, that's fine.
Yep.
No, nothing wrong with that. Okay. You heard from, Milton Ainsworth on 91 Main Street.
I spoke to Milton, I got a note this morning from Joe the plumber, I spoke to Milton and I told him,
It's even better.
okay, and he said he had, somebody from Joe the plumber coming out, and I said, call me. When he gets out there, I need to talk to him directly before they do any excavating,
Oh, yeah,
anything, I have to be there to witness this, you can't call me after the fact.
I agree.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah,
8 o'clock Friday morning.
that's what.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, Laura gave you the.
As long as you got the information, that's all I can ask. It's just new business, so there you go. Okay. That should wrap us up on new business.
Okay,
So, bill sheet review is next item on the list, and we have, let's see. Okay. The current year that we're in. 8% of the year and 7% of the money spent. And last year, this will be interesting, because it's not gonna stay this way. 100% of the year is gone because it's over, and 94% of the money, don't expect that money to be hanging around.
yes.
So, just like- I wouldn't assume anything. Okay, but you know where it stands, right? And hopefully that works. Okay, then we go to superintendent.
I'm just gonna start off with, remember mentioned Route 140. That was a huge undertaking out there. If you went by, you just saw that was. So we had different trades there. It's something we've been working on for quite a while. It took us a while to get the pumps. Put new VFDs in. So real quickly, we had our electrical contractor there with 2 electricians. We had Traver, who was an electrical supply house down in Waterbury. And they were doing the VFD, so we had an electrical engineer, plus their electrician on site. We had Carlson, who was where we bought the pumps from, the Sulzer pumps. They had their pump guy do the startup.
Oh, good.
And then we had Johnny Keeler, to the bypass the station, the pump truck. And then we had Randy Robbins from EIS, because we had to bring together all the control wiring along with the high voltage wiring and get it all to talk to SCADA. So I don't think you could have fit another person. And then, of course, on top of that, we had Ed, myself, and our 2 mechanics and one of our operators, because they had to do the entry, change out the pumps, pull all new wiring through. So it was a long day, but it was a really good day, because as we do with most of our projects, we were kind of in control. We had bought everything previously. We bring in the subcontractors that we need. And so by the time we were done by probably 5, 6 o'clock that night, Ed, the VFDs were in, they were wired, the SCADA was done, all the new wiring was pulled, the pumps were in operation. It was an awful lot to get done in one day, but this wasn't our first rodeo. This is like the 8th station, I think. We've done some bigger ones, smaller ones.
Planning.
Well, it's all about the planning and, a lot of planning went into this. Every station we do, it's different, different people, different players, but we've worked with these folks so many times. It's like a well-oiled machine. You can really tell when you get people who, some guys are working on this, some guys are working, y'all kind of coordinated, and it just goes so smoothly. So that, I'm gonna say, was, projects are always good, but that project, everybody was so upbeat, enthused and so engaged in it, because our guys did 90% of the work.
Right.
So I couldn't be happier, and told the guys, hey, you know, this is what it's all about. This is when teamwork comes together. You can pull something off like this, and at the end of the day, everything works. So,
Now, what you've done in that one spot,
yes,
what's the lifespan of it?
okay. Typically, the lifespan, Jim, would be 20 years,
Okay,
but we're known for extending lifespans because we don't just run to failure. So I would say 30 years.
right, but the minimum, we're gonna get 20 more new years out of that. thing.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, yeah, and I'm
Correct.
saying, I'm comfortable saying we're gonna get 30. Because
Yeah.
this plant here is now 28 years old then?
Yeah, and we pull pumps out. We have a regular scheduled maintenance, so before the pump fails,
Yeah.
we're getting them rebuilt and putting a spare in. I think one interesting thing that Jim said earlier about vendors. So Art
Oh,
went
yeah.
over all those vendors. And I think we should give some credit to each individual vendor.
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
It's not by accident that we work with these guys
Oh, no.
time and time again. So a lot of planning went in. We had like a year of planning for this. Every step of the way, we had listed out on paper, even when we were gonna take our breaks. Just to get some, get guys out of the hole and breathe.
Yeah.
But everybody showed up that day, all these vendors
Yeah.
knew how important this was to us. We were ready to go. It's a little bit stressful when you're taking your pumps out of service, you're disabling all the electronics.
yeah.
Right.
You never
You're
know,
dead in the water.
for sure,
Yeah, well,
is it
let's
gonna
go back
work right?
together.
So nobody called out and skipped that out on us. And that is one thing I really super appreciate,
Yes.
is we tend to work with people who we know are reliable. And that's not always the
And
case.
even our people, our staff here.
Yeah, everybody shows up and ready to
Everybody-
go.
If they had something planned, they rearranged it, they knew that, hey, we need you guys, that's not a problem. So,
That's a
yeah,
long day.
I don't think it gets any better than that.
So yeah, it started at 5 AM. Well, it started the day before, loading the truck with all the equipment.
Yep.
Out there by 5 AM. We didn't get out of here, some of us, till after 7 PM.
Yeah, probably true.
But our staff is very excited, they really love doing this stuff, they really
Good.
enjoy being engaged, and actually, they're doing more now than we ever thought that they would do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The other amazing thing I feel is Art and I have been through these more than the younger
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
but they're doing the physical work,
yeah.
luckily for us. But this was a 2-day project.
Yeah.
Which would have meant, I don't know, I'm 40% more on the cost. But because we have good people,
Yeah.
they got in, and while the Traver crew was putting in the VFD, they got it, we were working in the
You were
wet
pulling
well,
the wires out.
pulling the wire,
Yeah.
getting the floats ready, getting the pump seated. So we saved time, a whole extra day. That was money
And
saved.
here's the bottom line, at the end of the year, when we have to set another rate. And we've done things like that, we've saved enough money that the rate can be more stabilized. We might have to go up, I'm not arguing that,
No,
but
Right.
you're stabilized, that's how you keep everything, everything
exactly.
moves like this. And that's why I'm excited, I sit here, I listen to these vendors, and it's like, this is great. I almost wish there was a way we could thank them, but you really can't, other than to say thank you
we say thank you, and the next time we do a pump station, we bring the same.
and give them business.
Right,
That's how,
exactly, yeah.
that's exactly how it's been, so that's really great, guys. I'm
No, it
excited.
is. Well, thank you, Jim. Yeah, because I couldn't be happier. It's, I don't think it gets any better. All the projects have gone good, don't get me wrong, but every time we do one, it gets a little bit better. It's like, how much better can it get?
Right,
And then you do another one, and it's like, boy, these guys are just, I mean, you don't even need, they've worked together so well now that it's like hand in glove. They just know what the other one is doing, and it's like a well-oiled machine. So couldn't be happier with that.
Yeah, question.
Mhm.
Does this make the pump station more efficient in some way? And does it
Yes.
reduce energy costs or anything along those lines?
It does both of us. And being
Yes.
with that,
That's important too.
the VFDs out there are not really used as a true VFD. They are used as a, because of the way the power comes in, they need to convert the power to three-phase power from the pumps. It's not technically used as a typical VFD as a variable frequency drive.
Yeah.
But we put new VFDs in. The pumps that we put in were an upgrade. The
Yeah.
pumps that had been in there, much more efficient. These are the same pumps we put into Mill and Scanic.
Yeah.
Which we had started a couple of years ago. We were so pleased with Scanic and we did Mill. We're so pleased with the Sulzer, we did Route 140. Scanic, which you remember the whole Homa thing and the issues, okay?
Yes.
So I asked today, we had a meeting at lunchtime, because you know the project going on. And I said, let me ask you guys, when's the last time we had to pull one of those Sulzer pumps? And Hale said, why'd you have to say that? We never have.
Yeah.
And again,
Let's not
that's-
discuss it anymore.
No, gotcha.
Move-
so that's
move
why
on.
we went with these Sulzer pumps, because it's a new style, it's called a contra block. And if it gets in, it's getting out.
All right,
So, yeah.
there you go, so.
A big upgrade is we don't have to go out and pull the pumps because they're clogged, so. Again, yeah, it was a win-win all around, so it definitely improved the reliability. And
It makes all the effort worthwhile,
there you go, yeah.
good deal, okay.
So, okay, a couple other things as far as the superintendent's report. Back in May when we met, there was a discussion about, Pleasant Street. Talked about the blockages we've had.
Yes.
Okay, so since that time, as we talked about it in May, I think Jim and Steve had some questions like, what were they thinking it was gonna cost and so. Between then and now, I had Green Mountain Pipe come in, that's Ray Barra. They brought down their Vector cleaner camera, it's like, they brought down a whole crew, guys. They were here for one day. They cleaned and televised the whole 19 feet of line.
Okay.
And so in doing that, if I don't want to take all night with this book, but I do want you to know, so Ed put together the booklets here on the packets. Thanks. There you go, okay. So
Oh, boy.
what the booklets are, I'm gonna kind of cut to the chase here.
Sure.
And the reason I say that, the reason I wanted the booklets because there was something posted on Facebook over the weekend about Pleasant Street. And people were complaining that, the sewer department, you know, should, I don't know who it was, I don't really pay much attention to
Jeez, I'm
Facebook.
glad I got hacked about a week ago, so I haven't been really on there.
Well, whoever was on Facebook had no idea what they were talking about. It had nothing to do with the.
So there's a lot of that.
Okay, so what comes down to the pictures here, there's 7 manholes, it's 1,900 feet of line. Average manhole runs around 300 feet. And so what we discovered is that clay tile line, it's well outlived this life expectancy. There are 3-foot sections of pipe, so this is New England, so the ground
Yeah.
moves. pipe
Oh,
gets
yeah.
there.
There are all kinds of problems. yeah.
So the reason we had Green Mountain come in, they are the same folks that did the South Road relining project.
Right.
Okay, so what you see here in the pictures is anywhere where they notice some kind of a fault. And so John Ferentz and I have attended, it's called NASCO, it's this national certification standard where you look at these pictures and you identify them with certain codes and whatnot. So everything in here showed any kind of problem. Some of them just show there's a factory tap. Some you're gonna say are gonna talk about roots. Some are gonna talk about cracks and holes in the pipe. So I watched the whole video as Ed has, and each manhole segment's around 15 minutes. So it takes you about 2 hours to watch. Just take your time. I made my own notes, and these guys only missed a couple of things. These guys were really, really good. They're the real deal. And so what I wanted you to see, and I'm gonna, okay, if you go to page 22 of 37.
About that, I have to be.
Okay, so there's 3 pictures there,
Yeah.
and one of them says roots ball joint.
Yeah.
Okay, the one at the bottom says miscellaneous survey abandoned. The reason that survey is abandoned, that means the camera could not get any further. It hit this massive.
Well, tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's the problem that we have had out there. We've known there's been problems out there. We've been aware of that. We've run our own little camera through there.
Yeah.
The reason we could, and they did not want to try to use a high pressure cleaner to knock those roots out of there.
Blow the pipes out.
You would blow the pipe completely apart. And there's a number of other areas.
Oh, yeah.
The resolution here is not good, but there's a lot of longitudinal, exactly. So the pipe was in, and if you look through the rest of these, every joint is offset. But the condition of the clay tile pipe, it looks as good as the day it went in if you were to cut a section of it out. It's just that it's very crooked and.
Yeah.
So I had thought, when I had talked to Ray Barr, that we were gonna have to do a couple of spot repairs. We had some holes in the pipe, we had some serious issues. He got the video back, he called me, we talked about it, we reviewed it, and he said, Art, there's no spot repairs that need to be done. We can run a liner through this, the whole 1,900 feet. So what they did was, as part of their job coming in and televising it and cleaning it, was also to put together a price for the line. Because they had to know how many laterals would they have to open, okay.
Absolutely.
So Ray got back to me, and again, if you look at the page 26 or 37, again, you can see that they could not get past those roots, and that's the problem we've been having. So our guy John, our collections guy, goes up there twice a week, pops those manholes and looks for any evidence of anything backing up. Because we cannot afford to clean that line, because with that pressure, it would collapse the line. So when we were,
Go ahead, yep.
we were playing a game here, okay?
Well, yeah.
So, that's another picture of some of the roots that are in there. And so, if you go to page 28, you're going to see some of the cracks. The longitudinal crack, it's called a hinge. That is a section where if we were to try to run a nozzle through there, in knowing where that's at, if we had to get to the root ball, we would go through there, we'd lower the pressure, wait till we get the distance to the root ball, then we would ramp it up, because you can collapse that. This is why it's so critical to know what you're doing with that jet truck. So, make a long story short, all the pictures are in here. I mean, there's other problems in there, but again, Ray assured me that that could be done without having to do any kind of excavation. They go from manhole to manhole.
Right, okay. Very
So,
good. That part sounds good.
Before we go any further, you said something was on Facebook about this situation or another. I need to know what we're.
right, okay,
I'm thinking
it was
in my
brought
head.
my attention, because somebody notified me, and I guess I was on vacation
Right,
last week.
Yeah.
And we had all the rain coming.
Yeah,
And so something happened on Pleasant Street where
Yeah.
somebody got flooded. Somebody took a picture of a gas valve cover. And it's,
okay,
and they talked about flooding. It
right,
had nothing.
I saw it, now I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but the people,
Somebody suggested they contact somebody,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
right, yeah,
Okay, it was a bunch of people doing the usual. However,
right,
this situation is a major situation from what I can see.
so what I wanted the commission to understand was back in
Yeah.
May, the last time we had a meeting.
Right,
We talked about this.
right.
And both Jim and Steve asked me, and I said, I expect it's gonna cost somewhere near $100,000. I'm working on getting somebody in. So we didn't meet in June, and then the people posted that nonsense on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, while all that was going on, we had this clean and televised. Ray gave me back the report, gave me a proposal, which is part of your booklet here. The
Okay.
cost to do that is $72,072. The way they price out doing this lining, they actually have to, they fabricate basically an inside out sock that's got like an epoxy coating.
Yeah.
As they put it in, they roll it out and then they hit it with steam. And what it does, it forms around the pipe. And they did this at South Road. It is hard as a rock. And so I wanted to let you know, when I talked to Ray, and I know everybody's busy with all the lining projects, and Ray said, hey, Art, you know what? Believe it or not, we have an opening. This is a really small job as far as they're concerned. It's an 8-inch pipe.
Yep.
And he said, I can get this done before school starts. We waited to have him come in until school got out, because no school buses didn't have to get. trying to minimize the cost of all the nonsense. Okay?
Absolutely.
And so he sent me this price, so this comes out to be $39 per foot, that's how they price it up, they price it up per inch mile. So
Yeah.
I went back and I took a look at what we didn't pay, what the town paid to have South Road done, because I was kind of had to oversee that project, okay?
Mhm.
So, okay. I just wrote it down.
I know.
But, just had it. So, anyways, I remember the numbers, when they did South Road,
Yeah.
it was $54 a foot,
Mm-hmm.
okay? This is getting done for $39.
Yeah.
Mainly because Ray has a couple of big, huge, like 30-inch pipe jobs going on, which is gonna, so he's got a little bit of a break here.
Yeah.
And so when people say, you know, we can give you a break, and I already told you
No,
that.
but that's a bargain,
Well, that's what I'm saying, Paul.
especially consider the circumstance.
Yeah, and so,
Because that, I mean, that pipe's basically useless at this point.
Where would we get the money from?
I was gonna ask you that question, yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's the second part
Yeah.
of what,
That's important.
okay,
Cause here's the bottom line, these pipes are horrible, they shouldn't even exist. So let's move on, we found somebody that's gonna do it for a
Okay.
reasonable rate,
so we need.
and let's find out how we get that money.
Okay.
Where are we gonna pull it from?
So that's the second part, what, and I'm gonna try to make this brief to try to follow through, right?
Yeah, because we need to do it.
Okay, right, so we talked about, we just ended one budget cycle, we're going into another budget cycle, we took a look at the sheets, so, okay. So, Amy was not in the past couple weeks, she's been on vacation.
Right.
So I usually validate all my numbers with Amy. So I think I'm pretty good, I think I know what I'm doing. So what I did was I spent a good amount of time figuring out exactly where we are. We
Okay.
closed out one budget cycle, we're going into another.
Yeah.
So from what I can gather, last year's budget, when it closed on June 30th,
Mhm.
we had originally budgeted $2,152,000 for that budget change. We actually brought in revenue of $200,000 more of that. Because we can never spend more than we bring in.
Right.
Okay, so we never know that till the end of the year. So that meant that we had an extra 200,000. Now, out of that 2,152,000, as you mentioned earlier, we have $139,000 that is
Right.
unexpended.
Right.
We budgeted, but we didn't spend $139,000 for that.
Okay,
So that's money that we saved.
Yes,
Okay, and then we have the $200,000 in excess revenue, which is all positive. That means we get more money.
and that's not on this sheet here because it wasn't part of the budget.
Exactly, that's in all my crap here, which,
so what you wanna do is use that money for this,
hang on a second, Jim,
okay,
I'm not quite there yet.
okay,
So in this current year's budget that just started July 1st,
Yeah.
we have $200,000
Yeah.
in CIP.
Correct.
And I always put projects in there.
Yes.
Ed and I talked about this, so our projects for this year were planned to be Perry Lane, like $110,000 to build that pump station. Do the oxidation ditch, get a crane rental and a few other things. As typically happens, we don't have time to do all these projects. So what we do is, this is one thing here, this one right here. We're not gonna be able to do both the ditch and Perry Lane. Just because we're not gonna have enough time. So I can take that money and allocate right to here. That just means that one of the projects we wouldn't be able to do anyways, we're gonna do the next fiscal.
And the impact, not, this obviously needs to be done. Okay, so it's gonna get done next year, but this next, not that you thought that far ahead, but you said I thought a 3 to 5 year.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
What's the impact moving it into next year and the following? Don't know yet, that's fine.
No, it's not gonna be a problem whatsoever. Ed and I typically. We work on this stuff all year round, because we're constantly moving projects around. This Route 140 project has been in the works for like a couple of years, because we didn't have the time, we couldn't get the parts. So all we're doing is just, rather than saying we're gonna do Perry Lane, we did 140, rather than doing Perry Lane, we're gonna do Pleasant Street.
let me ask a question of you, the end of the year has come.
Yes,
We have 200,000 plus revenue that we didn't spend.
right.
130.
130, excuse me, 130, it's
Yeah,
sitting there,
Rough,
right, yeah,
okay?
exactly.
well, yeah,
Well,
that
I'm
makes
just trying to figure what
Go
I'm
ahead.
understanding.
Yeah.
We do not have an account for something like this, which is what I would call, I don't wanna say emergency,
Okay,
but do we have an account for that?
yes, so Jim, to that point, I will say, we have two major accounts, we have. A sewer assessment fund, which is the FCC money,
Right,
and then we have a fund called the fund balance. Which is when we have unexpended money, and then we have excess revenue, that goes right into that, it's called the Webster Bank.
okay,
And then we have the sewer assessment account. So both of those accounts right now, we are in excess. We're somewhere between. $2 to $2.5 million between both of those accounts. And the commission has set controls as to neither one of those accounts can fall below a certain amount. One is 750, the other is 500.
that is correct.
So what I am saying, Jim, is rather than just say, oh, let's go pull 72,000 out of the sewer assessment fund. I'm really big about following the budget and making sure we stay within the
Right.
lines, because otherwise, why do we spend all this?
right, so let me stop you, because
Sure.
you and I are not thinking on the same page, so I'm going to
Sure,
ask
go
some
ahead,
questions that
yeah.
will drive you crazy. Okay, of the $139,000, that money is not allotted anywhere, it's just left over. I'm trying to wrap my head around
No,
it.
what happens with that money, when all is said and done, that money gets moved into what's called the Webster Bank. It's called our fund balance.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's the name they call it. It's called the fund balance.
So why aren't we taking and maybe making a line item here? Okay, that encompasses if, and I don't know how to word it, so you understand.
Oh, no,
what
I
I'm
understand what
getting
you're
at.
saying, Jim, yeah.
But that's where that's, cause then if we have that 139,000 left.
Yes,
And we say we're going to put that in, for lack of a better term, emergency fund. That in itself would be accessible to us at any point
go ahead.
if
Yeah.
used for emergencies, others we need to define what it's for.
Because
Okay,
reason being is it's the unexpended fund, it's already an unexpended fund balance. So it would go back into the fund. If you put it in as a line item, you wouldn't have the flexibility to do it.
okay,
Exactly.
all right.
Steve is so here's the other part of it, Jim.
but it is our money.
No, I'm just trying to
It's not
understand why we don't,
It's not encumbered, we can use
Right.
Right.
So
okay,
what we do every year, and even in this year's budget, what we said was that we've always funded our CIP at 200,000 outside of the budget. It doesn't fund the operating budget.
Right.
That gets funded out of sewer assessment. So that we have a sewer assessment, then we have a fund balance.
okay.
Those monies at any given time,
But what I'm trying to get to is I don't want to cancel any projects that are.
No.
No, listen, that are lined up whether we complete them or not this year. I don't want that touched. So I want to find a way to get the $73,000 out of something that we've
Oh,
got
it. We
extra.
did, right, we did,
Okay,
and it is there, it's still cash.
I'm just, I don't want projects to be put off.
no,
And that's why I'm
agree.
here to pay Paul.
okay.
That's right.
So I got one more thing, which
Okay,
I know this gets really confusing.
I just,
Sure.
Steve made a good point, and I think I wanna alleviate, cause you and I do this, the projects we're thinking of, we're always trying to fix something before it's a problem.
Exactly.
So we have a built-in kind of a buffer,
Yeah.
so we fixed Route 140 before it failed.
Yeah,
Before we had to dump $10 million into
Right.
it,
right,
of course.
same with Perry Lane,
Yeah.
Yes.
we
But
still have,
Perry Lane hasn't been done,
we still have
and
time.
as you postpone it, you're closer to the edge.
Yeah.
That is the concern,
that is my concern, right,
and that's a valid
Exactly.
concern, don't get too close to the edge.
right, we're
If the
paying,
money's in the bank, it
No, I
doesn't make sense.
appreciate what you're saying.
right, so I want to try to simplify, in other words, ripping Band-Aids off.
Right, yeah.
What we're discussing now, I've already eliminated what would confuse the average Joe. Okay, by discussing where the money goes.
Sure.
Steve gave the right answer.
Yes.
So my question is, what do we really need to vote on to accomplish this.
I have one more thing I need to go run by.
Okay.
Okay, so hopefully this will make some sense. In our original budget, every year for the past 7, 8 years, we've allocated $200,000 to CIP.
Mhm.
The last 4 or 5 years, we've taken it out of the budget, so it doesn't affect the ratepayers.
Yeah.
We fund it out of either the fund balance or the sewer assessment.
Mhm.
So this year here, we had $200,000 allocated to CIP.
Correct.
Back in January, I came to you folks and I put this list together. And because parts were taking so long to get. So what you approved at that point in time was like $251,000. Was on top of the 200,000 we had already kind of committed to. Okay. So the 200,000 plus the 251,000 would be $451,000. Okay. So out of that, what we have spent to date has only been 363,000. Because as I mentioned about like with the Route 140, every time our guys get involved in a project, we whittle so much money out that because we have in-house talent. And so right now, Jim, that actually, there's enough money right there left over that would pay for this project.
But does that put you in a spot where you can't buy spare parts?
No, it does not.
Because we can't do that either.
And the other question I have, not to go too forward about
Sure.
the project end of it, is that this road here is disaster waiting to happen. Do we have anything else close to town in our routes that are anywhere near that?
Not to my
Yes, I
knowledge,
Or near?
no, as I said at the May meeting, that our focus is gonna start to get out to the collection system, because we've rebuilt 8 of our 10 pump stations, so we need to start addressing stuff like
Well,
this.
now we're back to where I'm at, and this is my thing. Is I feel very strongly we're mixing apples and oranges, calling it the same thing. At this point,
Yeah,
what I, as authority, I'm the one making this decision on this.
Yes.
We have this money in the bank.
yes, we do.
We can get the money without affecting any other planning.
That is correct.
And anything else that was planned for has already got whatever money it's gonna get. So let's keep it simple. Let's vote, get this project done
Thank you. Right.
and leave everything else out of the conversation. I know you wanna add it.
No, Jim, my plan for tonight was, because I mentioned this to Ed and Laura, I said, we have to do transfers.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I talked to Paul earlier in the week, and Laura asked me, I said, I think it's gonna be around $250,000.
Mhm.
Because we have to transfer 200,000 in from the CIP, last year's budget. And we also said we would put in $50,000 from fund balance. This is how I can keep the rate from.
Right, but essentially, again, we're back to where you're making me do apples and oranges, I don't do that.
You wanted
Okay,
to
this
put
is
it
an
in-
orange.
Yeah, sure.
Do I have $72,000 in a bank account? Then I pay for this without borrowing any money.
Okay, so the one thing I didn't get to finish, Jim, I'm sorry. But what I wanted to do,
I know, but
do we have an August meeting? Is it August we don't meet, or is it December?
December.
Okay, so we have an August meeting.
Yeah.
Amy was not in this week, so I couldn't get her to, you know,
I got you.
audit my
It's-
numbers, whatever.
I have no problem with
Okay,
that.
so what I wanted to do tonight was to do the transfers of the $250,000.
Yes,
I wanted to go ahead and get the commitment to go ahead
Okay.
and tell Ray, you wanna go ahead with this
well,
project.
yeah, because you said before school starts.
Exactly,
Well, you know what, you only get a month.
right,
They're
so,
gonna start in August.
so this.
I don't wanna,
No,
so.
you're running out of days.
Again. Being frustrated, I'm sorry, I have to have.
So, what we should do is process the transfers and authorize entering into this contract.
Yes.
And the rest of it, not important today.
and my plan, Jim, was for the August meeting to have, I have all.
We'll sort out the money.
Right.
Okay,
it's good
Then the
to hear.
discussion's over on the money,
I
because we're gonna
give-
do it in August.
I give the commission an accounting of
Yes.
what we have in our fund.
It's fine.
So we're gonna,
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're done.
someone make a motion then.
Motion.
I don't know what we're
It's not
motioning.
mine. We're giving him authorization to do the project as he's fit to do. For the money that's already allocated in the system.
actually, this is a contract.
Yes, so
Between us and it requires the WPCA to sign it.
it does.
We make a motion that gives.
So we need a motion to authorize the chairman.
Well, you can authorize our.
No, he signs it also. No, doesn't have that authority. Okay, so
Make a motion to authorize the Green Mountain Pipeline Services for.
Pleasant Street,
For Pleasant Street for the tune of.
72,072
$72,072. For East Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority to enter into a contract with Green Mountain Pipeline Services for that amount of money signed by. Chairman?
chairman,
Second,
hey,
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
We're not allowed to have any more discussion. This is done. Thank you. Okay. Do we have transfers?
Yes,
can I ask this one question?
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is going to move forward then.
yes.
Oh,
Boom, 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 I don't wanna know about it.
Let's sign the contract.
That's important. Then we should talk about the fact what we're doing and somehow get a press release that's going on.
Yeah.
Since it was.
So if I could just add one last thing and then I'm gonna shut up.
Oh, it depends.
Because I realize I get kind of carried away with financial. This is not my money.
No, you're doing the right thing, but like you said, Amy's not available, we can wait, we'll get it sorted
We're
out,
fine.
we don't owe them any money yet. They haven't done anything,
No, we.
okay, then we're all set,
And we just don't want projects to, that's all.
so you have transfer? I don't know what you have.
New business, motion to transfer $50,000 from the fund balance to. Fiscal year 2022-23 operating budget.
Second.
Any discussion, all in favor?
Alright,
Okay,
Make a motion to transfer $200,000 from the sewer assessment fund to the fiscal year 2022-2023 CIP budget.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, there you go,
Thank you.
okay, those transfers are done.
I just have one more thing to add to the superintendent's report. Oh, you brought something up.
No,
A
go
couple
ahead,
of months ago about South Windsor with their odor control project.
yeah,
It's only over $1 million.
yeah,
I got a phone call yesterday from someone who calls me occasionally and we talk, and he mentioned he was on his way to South Windsor. And so originally South Windsor spent, I don't think it's what you had told us, but
doesn't matter,
they spent $40,000 to do a study.
yep, that's it, now we're
Okay.
getting somewhere.
And then they were gonna spend like $1 million, $1.5 million to actually put the odor control in.
Yeah,
Well, then somebody else from the town got involved and said, this needs to be bigger, it needs to be like a $2 million project. Okay, so he was going over there with another person, this fellow happens to be a PE. And cause he felt that they could do it for $250,000. I think South Windsor must have a limit, like 250 you can spend in house, anything over that you get.
okay,
So. Ed and I both know this gentleman, I'm not gonna mention his name,
don't.
but I mentioned to him how, boy, I'd be more than happy to show you what we did. And what we did was $20,000. The equipment we bought 1 year, because it went on sale for 14 to 10. Then we bought the PLC, we did the SCADA, the whole kit and caboodle was $20,000. And again, I know we talked about this when you brought it up, Paul, but I didn't realize they spent $40,000 on engineering.
that's what they do, all the time.
So again, it's just one more reason, that's why we do,
Yeah.
because we don't waste money, that's why I watch this money, like,
Yes,
I
we
would
do.
be embarrassed. And that kind of money on a study.
Right,
you should watch the money, I'm not concerned, cause I know you watch the money. The only thing with the Pleasant Street thing is I consider that in any road that has that kind of going on. Needs to be done, but I don't want projects that are.
And I
in the
appreciate
works.
that.
And so that's where I'm at, I just.
yes, it's a great position.
Perfect. Good. So I just wanted to mention that to you about South
Okay,
Windsor. Okay.
so we did the transfers. And there you are, okay, so that'll put us into
Make a motion, to enter into executive session to include WPCA superintendent, chief operator, and WPCA attorney.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Okay. Laura, we'll let you know when we're out and then when we adjourn.
Appreciate it.
Have a good evening, Laura.
Thank you so much for what you did.
Thanks for putting up.
I want. It's great. Okay. It's here.
That's the biggest problem with ground planes, but then the sewer test. Oh, it's not just pleasant street out there, there's still some.
Call the fire department, they'll take care of it.
No, don't call the fire department, then the Broadbrook has to show up.
You guys,
It's
are we
fire.
still on Zoom?
Yeah,
Why?
so the only way we can have Mike, unless Mike wants to call it on a telephone, and I can shut the Zoom down.
No, I have
Don't
no
worry
problem.
about it.
Leave it on.
It's, I'm sorry, there's a recording that you can't have on. You have to stop the recording. And everything else works. Then we're in executive session.
Road. What's the method to clear the
We're done.
roads? It's not a saw, is it?
No, it's not a saw, because it's plate valve, like what they use is, it's called a warthog, it's a high pressure jet nozzle.